Regular session, Mayor and City Council meeting, 6 p.m. Amended agenda. I call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation will be read by Pastor Salomón Alegría of Christian Community Church. Is he with us? Mr. Dewey? Oh, he's there. Could you please come to the podium? Pastor, muchas gracias.
Thank you. It's an honor to be before all you guys here today. I'd like to quote scripture real quick and then go into a prayer from 1 Timothy chapter 2. Paul tells Timothy, I exhort therefore that first of all supplications, prayers, and intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceful life in all godliness and honesty. For this is good and acceptable in the sight of our Lord. Amen. Amen. Father God, we come before you this evening, and we thank you so much for the opportunity that you give us being here and dealing with the issues that our city and our county needs. Father God, we bless every single one of the councilmen and the mayor that are here and everybody else who's here with us today. We bless their families, and we ask that you guide us in every thought and every intention and every action that may be decided here today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think most of you knew that Carmen Canchola, the wife of Joe Canchola, who is mayor of Nogales, and also who brought the McDonald's to Nogales here. And she died today. She was buried. And I would just like to take 10 seconds just to remember Carmen. She did a lot for the city. She was a very active wife of the mayor in Nogales, and she did a lot. And I think a lot of people do remember her. And like I said, we just take 10 seconds just to remember Mrs. Canchola and also Mr. Canchola. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Item number 4, call to the public. We're going to start with Hugo Miguel.
Yep.
¿Puede pasar al podium?
Sí, gracias.
State your name for the record and your address, please.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Hugo Miguel Rivera y vivo en el 1861 del Nogales Drive, aquí en Nogales, Arizona. Muchas gracias por la oportunidad. Señores del cónsul, nosotros atendiendo en forma y tiempo a una sugerencia de licitación que hizo la ciudad hace un par de semanas, venimos el día de hoy a que vean con mucha detención nuestra propuesta, que nuestra propuesta va encaminada no únicamente a llevar a cabo la operación de un restaurante y de un bar, que es como la ofertó la ciudad. La propuesta de nosotros encierra en nuestro paquete la construcción del nuevo Country Club de Nogales, Arizona. Nosotros deseamos, en caso de ser nosotros las personas adecuadas que ustedes decidan para este tema, nosotros pretendemos tomar la estructura ya existente, donde actualmente está el Palo Duro, lo que es las instalaciones del Palo Duro, y tenemos nosotros con el día de hoy 113 días trabajando todos los días en familia y con amigos para que esta opción que tenemos, esta oferta que le tenemos a la comunidad de Nogales, es de que ya es hora de que Nogales, Arizona y su hermana Nogales, Sonora tengan la oportunidad de convivir en familia y en armonía en un nuevo country club para Nogales. Los detalles los van a ver en nuestra propuesta, y nuestra propuesta incluye pues las amenidades mínimas que nos merece para que nosotros podamos compartir este tema. Les agradezco y muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Con permiso. Aquí estamos para los otros. Gracias.
Next speaker, Ronald Henderson. Mr. Henderson, state your name and your address for the record, please.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with who I am. I generally don't speak in public, and I pretty much keep personal, but some stuff has come up to my attention, which is very disturbing to myself, and is pertaining to council here. The Mayor, you've done quite a great job over this last year. You stepped in after an issue was taken care of at a state level. And a lot of funding came in for law enforcement in the city of Nogales because of that. I'm appalled to the fact of what I'm seeing right now. I'm watching independent council members attack other council members in the newspaper, the radio. I went out on a limb several years back to help the city, and I'm just appalled to the fact this is helping. I'm watching Mr. Diaz get attacked every day on the radio, a newspaper, by other council members, which are forming PACs, which are trying to divide this council in upcoming election. I have a daughter that starts college, just graduated this year, and I'd really like to know from this council, where are our children going to go from here if this keeps going on? What's going to happen with this? You are our watchkeepers of this community. When is it going to stop? That's what my question for your next meeting is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Next speaker is Carmen Sotomayor. Please state your name and your address for the record.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Carmen Sotomayor, vivo en 414 Noon Street. Muy orgullosa de vivir en Nogales. Bueno, no tengo experiencia de hablar en público, así es que sí. Me pongo muy nerviosa, pobrecita yo, ni modo. Primeramente les quiero pedir perdón a todos por algún error que yo cometa, ¿ok? Al exponer mi punto de vista. Mi intención no es ofender a nadie. Lo que deseo exponer en la administración de la ciudad de Nogales es el problema tan grande que tenemos los habitantes con respecto a la basura. Sé que las personas encargadas de recoger dicha basura tienen estrictas reglas en su trabajo. Por mi parte, sé perfectamente cómo debemos y pienso es nuestra obligación seleccionar dicha basura en sus respectivos contenedores azul y negro. Pero ¿qué pasa cuando hay basura que no va en dichos botes y las personas de todas maneras las colocan allí o la tiran en el piso? En cualquier parte. Pasan los días y dichos desperdicios siguen allí en el mismo sitio. En otras ocasiones, ciertas personas usan ciertas esquinas de una calle para convertirlas en basureros. Nogales ha crecido mucho, no es el pueblo que solía ser. Habemos personas que somos de aquí y otras, la mayoría, son de fuera, pero todas vivimos en esta ciudad. Y debemos tener conciencia de conservarla limpia. No creo que sea un gran problema si todos cooperamos. Pero se tiene que hacer algo para que la ciudadanía entienda esto. Y he aquí mi pregunta, señores y señoras. ¿Podría la administración de esta ciudad implantar reglas no nomás para los empleados encargados de recoger la basura, sino para la ciudadanía misma, que entienda que la ciudad de Nogales no es un basurero público? Que la gente no tire basura donde más le plazca. Pedir a los habitantes que limpien el frente de sus casas, etcétera, etcétera. Donde yo vivo, cruzando la calle, parecía un basurero hasta que llovió la suficiente para que la lluvia se llevara la basura y la depositara Dios sabe dónde. Me imagino contribuyendo a tapar alcantarillas. Para mí es muy triste esto porque he vivido en esta ciudad la mayoría de mis años, que no son pocos, por supuesto, ¿no? Y quiero a mi Nogales, lo quiero con todo corazón. En una ocasión le hablé al señor Garino para que me ayudara mandando a alguien a recoger una basura que tenía días tiradas en una esquina. Debo decir que recibí ayuda de inmediato, lo cual le agradezco infinito. Pero el problema siguió debido a algunas personas que habitan ciertas casas. Dichas personas son tan indolentes que los botes de la basura pueden durar días tirados en media calle, a veces con la basura saliendo de ellos, sin que se preocupen por recogerlos. Necesitamos la ayuda de la administración de la ciudad y de nosotros los habitantes. Creo que la mayoría de nosotros nos gustaría tener una ciudad limpia, ¿no es cierto? Esta es mi queja, señores. Ojalá encontremos el remedio y muchas gracias por darme la oportunidad.
Muchas gracias. I have 4 other speaker forms here in reference to item number 6. Would you like to speak and call to the public or during the item? Item number 6. One is Saulo Bonilla, the other one is Oscar Felix, and the other one is Mr. Martinez and Mr. Huerta. I'll wait during the item. During the item?
What was the other one?
For Saulo Bonilla, Oscar Felix, Mr. Martinez, and Mr. Huerta.
I mean, I'll go now. Mr. Huerta, I don't know what you want to
I'm
decide.
gonna do number 6 when the item comes up.
When the item comes up?
Mr. Mayor, I think everybody should speak, if there's an agenda item, I think they should speak on the agenda item.
Yeah, but if you want to speak during the call to the public, it doesn't matter.
We'll do that then. Am I the only one to do it?
Yeah, you're not gonna get any discussion during the call to the public.
No, sir.
It doesn't matter.
I understand that.
State your name, and not your slang name, your real name, and for the record and your address, please.
Jose Martinez. I work at 934 North Mejano Street. You guys know my real name? All right, thank you, lady and gentlemen, for this opportunity. I do appreciate this opportunity. And I'm here to talk about the Constitution of the United States of America. First Amendment specifically. What we Americans live and die for. To protect these rights that we learned from very small. And what others from other parts of the world want to become American for. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, like the young children that were outside asking for a new country club. That's beautiful. Here in Nogales, these kids were protesting. They were exercising their constitutional rights. I think we're all proud and happy to see that. Congratulations to those kids. And then I see the item on the agenda. Discussion and possible action against KOFH, Felix Corporation, Maxima Negative Campaign, against employees, against the city, and it bugged me. Why? Because we're going to use government time, taxpayer money, on a monthly meeting to speak and question the First Amendment rights of a free enterprise of these United States of America. Now, we just heard we have problems with the trash. Tenemos problemas con la basura. We have problems with the flooding, with these rains. 17% unemployment, 17 to 20. There's needs to be stronger educational values here. Real job creation. Real progress. Not political lines that are fed to people without details, without reports, without hope. That's what we want to hear at these city meetings. Not the questioning of the First Amendment right of the Constitution of the United States of America. Now, we're going to bring out receipts. we're going to bring out receipts that the prior administration spent so-and-so dollars in 3 years. Well, we're a business. We sell advertising like restaurants sell food. And if we don't understand capitalism, like we don't understand the First Amendment of the Constitution, then maybe you're in the wrong job. And are we being mean to you because you're not buying advertising? No, we're not being mean to you because we're not buying advertising, or you're not buying advertising from us. It's ridiculous. Now, you might hate Maxima. You might hate me. And you can go outside in public and tell the world that you hate us. And I will defend your opinion because it's your First Amendment right. But here, the people's chamber, this is your chamber. You pay for it. We pay for it. We're going to discuss our First Amendment rights. And you're going to say, no, we're not talking about freedom of speech. We're not talking about the First Amendment. Yes, when it boils down to the very bottom line, we are talking about the First Amendment, freedom of speech, just like those kids were holding up their sign. The bottom line is we are talking about that. So, with that said, when you get to item number 6, and you start talking about how negative they are, how mean they've been to me, the receipts, you make the choice. Just remember, and remember real clear, the people will make their choice. People are not done. Okay? But we wasted valuable time. We wasted valuable time when there's so much to talk about. And I will not be sitting here or standing here while you mock the office of Nogales, Arizona. While you mock First Amendment rights. After everybody gets to speak their mind, I will walk out with my head held high and in my heart knowing that the Constitution of the United States is above any and all of us in this room. And anything you say during discussion 6, you're wasting their time. Hate me or love me. I know what it's like to be a public figure. Man, I get dogged on a daily. They say some nasty things about me, but you know what, man? I move on. And this is what you guys are. You're public figures. I don't know you personally. I do know that the people, we got to work together as a unit, as a community, to make Nogales what it is. This is a great place, and I think we all understand that. We're all in agreement with that. Then let's live up to our expectations and not talk trivial things. So right now, I will walk out of this room because I will not stand by while you mock the United States of the Constitution of this country, which I love so much. Thank you, and God bless America.
Anybody else on call to the public? Mr. Spaulding?
Mayor, council, everybody in attendance.
Please state your name and your address.
My name is Jack H. Bowman. I reside at 1230 Calle Rafael, Rio Rico, Arizona. I'm here because I'm discussing in politics, period, throughout the United States. When I grew up, you didn't hear people lambaste one another to get elected. We don't need to have slurs and bad things. I think it's outrageous. I fought in Vietnam, and I fought for this country. For people to go around and talk so dirty and put things on Facebook, that's not freedom of speech. If you're going to run for politics, at least run and run on your merits of what you can do and what you think you can do. Let's stop this BS in the United States. Nobody deserves to be called down for something. If you got something that you don't like about the mayor or the city council member, sit down, compose a letter, and bring facts actual evidence instead of spreading gossip. Run on your merits. Be a man, be a woman. Treat everybody with respect. I'm really tired of all this. I really am sick and tired with the president, with the governor, with this or that. Let them run their office and then vote them out if you don't like them. But keep your mouth clean and your soul clean. Don't do what you're doing. It's time to stop. And I'm asking everybody to stop. We ain't got time for this in America. We got candidates, have a debate, pick who you want. But for God's sakes, don't do what we're doing throughout the nation. We don't have a nation anymore. We're losing all our rights. And it's time to work together to rebuild our nation. Thank you.
So the rest, is anybody else call to the public before we go? You want to call to the public? Chief? Yes. Yes. Were you waving at me or no? I wasn't sure if you were.
Good evening, Mayor.
Go ahead, Chief.
Sorry for the noise. I'm here tonight to make a couple presentations. These two events, distinct from each other, but again, very important for both, okay? I just want to first off start with a June 7th incident that happened at Esplendor swimming pool. Two of my firemen, off-duty firemen, had the family over, and they had their kids swimming. At that time, a 3-year-old was floating upside down. At that time, we had three of the kids swimming at in the pool. They noticed quick action. They took quick action and advised their parents. Okay, this time I'll read off what happened on June 7th, 2014, while swimming at a local hotel. Mia Richardson, Jacob Richardson, and Javier Brambila recognized that a small child was floating face down on the surface of the hotel pool. Immediately sprang into action and pulled the child out of the pool and called for help. Their actions resulting in the save of a life. This exemplary action projects the interest of our citizens to make our community a better place for all of us to live in. The two people, off-duty personnel that were there, is one of my captains, okay, Captain Ashcraft, and Engineer Roger Brambila, initiated CPR. At that instance, they called 911, and Rio Rico arrived at the scene, okay, and the little 3-year-old was transported to Holy Cross Hospital by two Rio Rico ambulance personnel, David Carter and Lucy Slate, which Lucy is also here. But at this time, Mayor, I want you to join me to present these certificates to Captain Pete Ashcraft, Engineer Roger Brambila. Jacob and Mia couldn't be here, but I do have Javier Brambila. Okay, and also we're extremely proud of these heroes, if you will. It is that importance from the fire department that we all, at one time or another, take that CPR class. As you know, Mayor, we do have free classes at this point, okay? And we're offering it, just call the fire department, you know,
every second counts. Every second counts, and the quick response from these kids and knowing what to do really helped this little boy. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That's it, Axel. Can you say hi?
Hey, how you doing?
Mayor, Council, this is a 3-year-old Axel.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Turn around so they can take a picture. Come on.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Mayor, on another note, I also want to congratulate one of our paramedics. He couldn't be present today. He's working. Angel Tadei, one of our veteran paramedics. He was just named National EMT of the Year by the VFW. So he's one of our pride and joys from the fire department. He's always caring, always trying to help, always extending an extra hand, you know. And Angel couldn't be here, like I said, but thanks to Mr. Diaz, the nomination came from Division Chief Castro, and he went from a local candidate to a state. He won state, he won regionals, and he was the winner of the National EMT of the Year. Okay, that's Angel Tadei.
So I want to thank Commander Diaz for all your work you did. Thank you. Thank you. Commander Councilman. Item number 5 is presentation quarterly report, Nogales Chamber of Commerce. Mrs. Kramer?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Olivia Ainza, 123 West Kino Park, Nogales, Arizona, and I'm here to give the quarterly report. At this time, I would like to give more information and something positive besides all the negative. We're going to go ahead and do something positive right now. Well, I just came back from a meeting from the Little League tournament that is being held here in Nogales, and I have to share with you the excitement of this event that is going to happen in Nogales. It's going to be really good, exciting, and I mean, the people should be very, very happy that the committee of the Little League was able to bring all of these visitors. At the chamber, the number of calls as well as the visitor coming and getting information for Nogales had tremendously increased. We've been very hectic by getting calls and asking about Nogales, what is here to do, information that they want to be sent. You're going to see that report on the next quarterly report, where we're going to go ahead and state all the information that people and visitors are asking about Nogales, Sonora, as well as Arizona. What to eat, what to do, where to travel, what to expect. But one of the things that we have been very happy that the majority of these visitors and players and families that are participating in this tournament are not concerned anymore about the safety. Everybody's looking forward to come, and I can tell you that at the beginning of the tournament, they asked us to have 200 packages for families that are coming to visit Nogales. As of right now, it increased it up to 400. So that's going to be a big impact for Nogales. I want to thank the business community as well as all of you, as the government and also community members, because everybody's participating. Nogales International, Mr. Kissinger, Aaron have been helping us to put all this together, and I can tell you that it has been very, very good for the image of Nogales. That's my positive report. Then another one is that we're going to be having a motorcycle group coming in August 26th. This group is called Tri Banderas, that comes from Canada, the United States, and goes all the way to Mexico. Before, they used to be to Baja California, but due to the media, negative and everything that is going on, they decide to come to Arizona, but they are going to be staying in Tucson. What we did, we invited them to come and see Nogales and experience what we have to offer here in this community. And so far, we have 80 motorcycles coming, and for next year, hopefully, isn't that right, Mr. Kissinger? We can go ahead and have 3 motorcycles coming to this area, which is really good because it will be in August. During the month of August and July and August is a very slow months for the businesses in Nogales. And bringing this kind of events helps a lot to have, revenue for the businesses, and at least that the unemployment is not as high as we always experience at this month. So that's something really positive for Nogales, and I'm asking all of you to contribute in anything that we're doing for this tournament to help us and make all these people feel comfortable and welcome to our community. And the other thing I just want to mention, since we have a large public right now, is that we have 3 grand openings of new businesses opening in Nogales. First of all, it's going to be Shoe Carnival, which all of you are invited to join us on the 19th of this month at 9 o'clock. It's going to be a very, very exciting event in that Shoe Carnival is putting together for all of the community, as well as Southwest Training Academy. That's another grand opening that is coming to the end of July, which we're going to be sharing all this news to all of you. And another academy that is Performing Arts Academy that is going to be opening also here in Nogales. So that's another exciting news, because we're bringing businesses, we're helping them, and every day we try the best we can to go ahead and help all of you as a business and as a regular citizen. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Thank you very much for the report. Number 2, discussion, possible direction on the purchase of records management systems for the Nogales Police Department.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of council, Mr. Dilly. I don't know if it's hot in here or if I'm just nervous trying to sell our project to council. At any rate, I'm going to give you a brief summary of a project that the Nogales Police Department has been working on for the last 6 months or so. It's a very exciting project, actually, and that has to do with improving our technology and communication, both internally within our department and externally within the community and all our stakeholders involved. And it has to do with improving our technology or purchasing new technology that has to do with computer-aided dispatch and records management system. I'm going to give you about a 10-minute presentation here. It's only about 6 slides, and I'll be glad to answer any questions after that you might have. With that said, I'll start my presentation. Introduction and background. The Nogales Police Department has been exploring different options to better serve the community. The department has been working with a computer-aided dispatch / records management system obtained in 1997. Back in 1997, Mr. Kissinger can agree to this. This was a state-of-the-art system that there was nothing compared to it. It's been a couple of years, and I think our expectations and have been raised, and this system no longer supports our operations and our community needs or department needs for that matter. Our current vendor will no longer support upgrades within the original purchase price. I think back in 1997, we paid approximately $250,000 for this system. In order for this same company, which has been sold a couple of times already, to upgrade some of the needs that we have, not all of them, it would cost in excess of $300,000. And that's something that we really need to take a good look at. Deficiencies of our current system are, they're not limited to the following. Lack of integration amongst varied applications with current internal systems. Duplicate data entry, which means that sometimes we have duplicate data entry. Basically what it says, we have 2 of each or 3 of each, which is not very good. The inability to access accurate real-time information. That real-time information becomes an issue with officer safety. We need to retrieve real-time information as far as to the threats that officers face on a daily basis to protect our community. Another one is lack of integration with external systems in other departments, which means that this system, which we have right now, it's called SunGuard, does not work really good with outside systems or components if it's not from the same company. Another one is the inability to collect crime analysis statistics from a central point. And Nogales International can attest to that. We've been having issues with compiling these stats because all these stats need to be compiled manually. And the numbers or the percentages need to be determined manually also. And that's a real problem for us. Another one is the inability to share information with surrounding agencies. You know, in this day and age of interoperability, after 9/11, it's very important that we share information amongst law enforcement, amongst public safety in general. Sharing of information equals to prevention, and that's what we're looking at to provide a better service to the community. The new system being explored is by a company, software, by a company called Spillman Technologies Incorporated. This company has been in business for 30 years. It's exclusive to public safety. Plus it serves over 1,200 law enforcement agencies nationwide. Spillman is in 12 out of 15 counties in the state. So we would be interoperable with 12 out of the 15 counties in the state, sharing information. Internal benefits of Spillman. Spillman is interoperable with 40+ agencies in the state, to include Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office. We will also be interoperable with the County Attorney's Office and the City Attorney's Office. Funding will come from anti-racketeering accounts through the Nogales Police Department Attorney General's account and the Nogales Police Department County Attorney's account. And like I said, this is all anti-racketeering money. A memorandum of understanding will be signed by all parties involved prior to purchase, and of course, prior to your approval. Hopefully, you can agree with us. The total project cost is $546,000, and this comes at no expense to the City of Nogales' general fund whatsoever. 100% of these funds come from anti-racketeering funds that were seized.
Did you hear that, Vice Mayor? I heard that.
Annual maintenance fees will be budgeted through MIS, our city's MIS, in the same manner that current computer-aided dispatch and records management system is budgeted now. And it will include continuous upgrades and enhancements, lifetime actually, upgrades and enhancements with the annual fee that we pay right now on an annual basis. So that there's no hidden cost behind that. There's no $300,000 in 5-10 years in order for us to upgrade what we need to upgrade to provide a better service and improve our communication. Community benefits of Spillman, improve customer service, ability to prepare reports in the field, which would cut down on our response times and be more effective and efficient in providing a service that our residents require. Reports will be disseminated much quicker to the other agencies, such as City Attorney's Office, County Attorney's Office, probation, and every other partner agency that we work with. Accident reports with photos will be processed much quicker. Current daily statistics will be available at a touch of a button, and evidence management will be more efficient. Right now, like I said prior to this, in order for us to compile all this information, we need to do it manually. With this, I don't have to use other resources such as records personnel, communications personnel. I can do it from my desk at a touch of a button, and it'll give me the percentages that I need, along with graphs, pie charts, or whatever needs to be done to present before council or to the community in general. That's really good. It will also improve Nogales Police technology and staff resource efficiencies, which means that obviously the officers can stay out in the field, records personnel can do their job, and communications can do their job, and without taking them away from their responsibilities, so they can help us compile information. Conclusion, there's so many records management systems out there, and so why Spillman? Like I said before, they cover 12 out of the 15 counties in Arizona, and they're a reputable company, feature friendly. They're interoperable with 44 plus agencies around the state. They service 1,200 plus law enforcement agencies nationwide, and it's bottom line is fiscally advantageous to us to purchase this program versus going back and purchasing an upgrade that will not suffice for our needs at the current time for the Nogales Police Department. With that said, that concludes my presentation. However, one last thing that I want to mention, this approval is time sensitive. Spillman, in the last month, obtained a contract, a multi-million contract with a company in Texas. And we're in line right now to, I think we're second in line, if everything goes through council next month and the funding goes through. If we do not approve this next month, we might fall behind 6 months to a year before we implement this technology with the Nogales Police Department. So this is very time sensitive. Also, next council meeting, or maybe even a study session before that, Mr. Billy, we're looking at bringing down the reps from Spillman, and they'll provide an in-depth presentation as far as to what this can and cannot do, and that way there's no doubt in anybody's mind what we're spending $546,000 on. So, if that concludes my presentation. I'll be more than glad to answer any questions you might have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the only question that came to mind when you were talking about your work with the outside agencies, does that include all your federal government agencies?
If they have Spillman, yes. And there's a lot of records management systems out there and computer-aided dispatch systems out there. The thing is that we like about this is that, like I said in my presentation, it covers 12 out of 15 counties. So we can get information from jails, particularly in Santa Cruz or Pima County, Pinal County. All those counties work with Spillman, and we can exchange information. So when an officer stops somebody, they run them. We have access to, if they're wanted or they have any priors or any contacts with other agencies that also use Spillman. We can exchange reports, we can exchange information, we can exchange real-time information such as photographs or any vital information that we need to protect our community and keep our officers safe.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. You said that it's 12 to 15 counties. What counties are left out? Is Pima in here and Maricopa County is included? Or?
I know Pima is included. I know Pinal County is included. Jose, is Maricopa?
No.
Is Maricopa County included? Maricopa is one of the ones that are not included, not just 12. But for the most part, the majority of them are 12 out of 15. So that's.
So what does it mean that if there's information coming out of Maricopa County, the department here would not be getting it? If somebody was wanted in Maricopa County, would that come up in this program or not?
It would, but we have a different component for that, and that's through AZ.Regular and other DPS programs that we run people through. If they have a warrant, expired or suspended driver's license, or they're wanted on a felony or anything else, it comes out to a different system. But with this information, it can assist us in providing or improving our investigations. Let's say, for example, we have a question about somebody that's in Pino County Jail. We have access to that information without having to send an officer over there and have to literally pick up a paper and bring it back to implement that into their investigation.
Was there any other program that included all 15 counties?
No.
Was there a program presented that included Maricopa County?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was provided this information that was provided to us from Spillman, and it lists the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office as an agency that uses Spillman. So we'll probably have to get to the bottom of that and find out. Certainly, it might help to know, not only what agencies utilize Spillman, but what percentage of the metropolitan areas does Spillman cover. Sure. Because then that'll help us to know how effective our interoperability really would be with this kind of investment.
Sure. How does this connect with the federal government, or is that another program? With Border Patrol and Customs and the FBI and all the different government agencies, are they connected directly to Spillman, where we would be getting information through them immediately there?
No, only the agencies that purchase Spillman, that are connected to Spillman, actually can share information with us as far as to this program is concerned. This program is going to be interfaced with some other components that we have to get information through DPS. And so this program, Spillman right here, is very user-friendly. It's it accepts software from other vendors or other companies. And it's not really, I guess, it's open to whatever department needs we have versus that we have to buy everything from them. But the Spillman program, it's all inclusive. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen in my 30 years in law enforcement something that compares to this, as far as to the information that we would have access to.
Well, Nogales obviously deals constantly with the federal government. So, I mean, how does this program come up to the federal government? I mean, if the FBI is looking for somebody, I mean, do we have to add something to this program to be able to get to them? Or are we looking at a completely separate program? Or has anybody presented a program that would include the federal government and whatever else we're looking for?
Right. If the FBI needs information on a wanted person and they do the inquiry through us, then we have access to these other 12 counties, the county jails and 44 plus law enforcement agencies to get that information. Obviously, this Spillman, this software is a choice, just like anything else, just like a Chevy, a Ford, or a Toyota. Everybody has their preference. But this right here will work for our department right now and into the future. Like I said, the other program that we bought back in 1997, that was a state-of-the-art thing back then. And we were really excited when we got it. But it's just like anything else. They don't want to do any upgrades without us investing quite a bit of money, which is in excess of $300,000. This program here, all-inclusive, cost us one time for $546,000. And we're going to pay the same amount or a little bit more in annual maintenance fees that we do with SunGuard right now. And they're free upgrades, lifetime upgrades, with no other hidden cost or anything like SunGuard, the company that we have right now.
Chief, we have a national data system, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Is that maybe what you're thinking about, Vice Mayor?
I don't know, maybe Mr. Dilly, once, or Mr. Machado, do you want to?
Well, even if the feds were to have Spillman, there's still restriction on the exchange of federal information through them to us. So even if they had the compatible programs, we wouldn't be able to access their information because they have other restrictions.
I really don't know what that
Vice
means.
Mayor,
but-
Well, in other words, well, what that means is you can't get their information.
Is that what they show on C-SPAN every night there with the IRS and that? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Mr. Vice Mayor, there, oh, I'm sorry.
The national data system, we have ACIC and NCIC,
Yes.
and we work with that.
Right.
Day in, day out.
Yes, sir.
If we needed something from across the nation, we could.
Yes, sir.
Basically, this is upgrading our system here.
Internally, yes, sir.
Right here.
So this is basically just, could we, are we gonna have a study session with them, and could we check for sure if Maricopa County is included? Obviously, Maricopa County is a very big component, right? I mean, we're missing 2/3 of the population if we eliminate Maricopa County.
That's right, it's a large population. Again, according to this that was produced by Spillman, Pinal County, Pima County, and the Maricopa County Sheriff's offices are currently using Spillman. So, I mean, we can verify that, and we'll absolutely do so. At your August meeting, we'll have Spillman here personally to make a more detailed presentation for a study session, so that when you are asked to consider this for action, you'll be ready to.
Maybe in the meantime, Mr. Machado could call Sheriff Joe Arpaio and ask him if he has a deal there.
We're having dinner tomorrow.
Mr. Vice Mayor, this works just like any other system. There are firewalls, and so we can share the information that we want shared. They just can't, anybody with Spillman just can't come in and take whatever information they want.
Right.
So we need to make whatever information we want them to access available to them, just like vice versa.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Baraya.
Anyway, Mr. Berlulis, your network connection with other agencies has always been there anyway. If there's an emergency, they'll let you know right away, if it's the FBI, the Border Patrol, whoever it is. If it's an emergency, they'll let you know.
Oh, yes, sir, we have a great relationship.
The network connection,
Yes.
which is still good.
We have a great relationship. Like I said, this is only an enhancement of this system, which is provide better information internally and externally to our community and the people that also have been within the state.
Mr. Johnny?
Good, more to come.
Yes, there you go.
But it is, like you said, that it's time sensitive, so I think.
Well, we have to get together
So
soon.
we'll have this item in front of you at your August meeting for action, but before you are asked to take action on this, we will certainly have a study session where Spillman can be here, and we'll have some of these other answers to your questions.
Does that satisfy the timetable that you have?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this is just basic information. I just don't want, we don't want this to fall in your lap in August and all of a sudden have to make a decision on $546,000 and with minimal information. So this will give you something to think about within the next couple of weeks or whatever, and I'll be available to the chief to answer any questions that you might have.
Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Members of the council, thank you, Chief. Mr. Junior, thank you very much. Number 6, discussion items. Item number 1, discussion and possible action regarding the continued negative media campaign on the city of Nogales, its elected officials and employees by KOFH Maxima 99.1 FM radio media station operated by Fedix Corporation, located on 934 N Bejarano Street, Nogales, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, before we even make a motion, we're going to discuss this, and I'm the one who placed this on the agenda. And, you know, it has nothing to do with freedom of speech, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to do with freedom of speech. If anybody here did anything with freedom of speech or fought for their country, it was myself. And there's members up here in the city council, and I can see a friend sitting in the back row that fought for our country in Vietnam. We fought for the freedom. Mr. Skolnick, you also fought for your freedom in Vietnam. I know freedom of speech. I would never discuss freedom of speech. Why would I discuss freedom of speech? This has nothing to do with freedom of speech. You know, you have good reports on the paper sometimes, and then you have bad reports in the paper. That's part of the game. I'm an elected official. we're all elected officials. That's part of the game. We have to learn to be strong if you're gonna run for office. And you have to be able to take criticism. You have to be able to take everything. That goes with the territory. Be it as a volunteer, or be it even in the school board. Volunteers, everybody. But this has nothing to do with freedom of speech. This has to do with the way things are done. I want to tell you what happened to me. I was invited to the radio station. The first 2 months of my term as mayor. When I was leaving the offices and the radio station on the second time, Mr. Felix told me, next time you come to the radio station, Mayor, bring a check. That's what he told me. Bring a check. At that moment, I was a little confused. Because I understand if we put a commercial, we put some type of event, I understand. We have to pay for that. We pay that to the international, we pay for everybody. All the newspapers, everything, we pay. So when I came back, I mentioned that to Mr. Dilly, and I also mentioned that to the city attorney. And time went by. And then it went really bad after that, because I wasn't about to take a check. So I asked to find out why this check was asked. And then I find out that the past administration paid La Maxima for a little over a year, $27,210. We have paid La Maxima in 3.5 years, $800. All right, this is what you have to think about. This, you have to make your own opinion. Is it because we didn't want to pay that we were going to be attacked? Our employees were going to be attacked. Their families were going to be attacked. This is not a personal thing. If it was me alone, hey, it doesn't bother me. I've been elected, an elected official. I was city councilman, I was vice mayor. I was attacked back then. And now, it doesn't bother me. But you're talking about employees. You're talking about Mr. Dilly's life. You're talking about Mr. Kissinger's, the finance director. I want to tell you one thing. I don't even know why she's with us. I don't even know why she's with us. The way she was attacked, before she even came to sit in her desk, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, if that's what you want to call media, and if that's what you want to call the First Amendment and the freedom of speech, that you're going to sit and hide behind a microphone, behind a little desk or something in a dark radio room and discuss our lives, the city's lives, everybody, if that's freedom of speech, be it. But it's only right that we as a city, and I'm asking the members of the council, that we publicize what the past administration paid to this radio station. And you guys, and the city, and the residents of Nogales, you form your own opinion. You form your own opinion. I've been criticized by the newspaper 3 or 4 times in a row, and then all of a sudden, something happens that we do something, and they put a good story. That's called being fair and balanced. That is what it is, fair and balanced. And I don't care if it's Fox, it's CNN, I don't care who it is. They always try to be fair and balanced. But at no time did I, and I'm sure that any of the members of City Council or staff, were going to interfere with freedom of speech. We know very well. 3 tours to Vietnam, ladies and gentlemen, I did for your freedom of speech. All right? I volunteered. Mr. Martinez stood up there and said, we fought wars for you. No, I fought wars for you. Okay? That's freedom of speech. So please don't come up here and tell me that we're gonna infringe your Constitution, your freedom of speech. Don't tell me that story. Do not tell me that story. And one thing I'm gonna tell you, I was elected by the citizens of Nogales, and if the citizens of Nogales prefer to have somebody else the next 4 years, be it so. That's democracy, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we have elections. If you don't like the way somebody's there, you take advantage and vote for the other person. That's it. But one thing I want to tell you, this administration in the past 3.5 years, we have paved over $13 million of roads. We did the soccer field. We did the second phase of the Meadow Hills Park. We've done so much work for this community. And not once was that mentioned that we did a good job. Not once. So please, don't talk to me about freedom of speech. I have freedom of speech, like all of you. We all have freedom of speech. Just because we're elected officials doesn't mean that the Constitution is thrown out the door, out the window. It's no good for us, it's only good for you and everybody else. No. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. And at this point, you know, when I saw this coming down the pipe in my first year, I ignored it. I said, hey, that comes with the territory. And then the employees, and then everything after that, and I said, no, you know what? This is just going overboard. And it's only right that we, as your government, publicize what the past administration paid. It's only right. You form your own opinion. Let everybody out there form their own opinion. But that's the way I feel, and it has nothing to do with it. And you'll see. I asked to get all the documents. It's public. If you all want copies of it, you can have it. But the best thing to do is buy the international, because that's what I expect, and I'm hoping that the members of the City Council support me, so that you all will see what's happening. Not once. I hope, don't leave this room thinking that we're going to infringe on your freedom of speech, or nobody. This has nothing to do with freedom of speech. And it's too bad that the members that were here, that the radio station, they're not here. But, you know, I didn't expect that. I was hoping that they would be here. But that's the way, that's the reason I placed it on the agenda. So members of the City Council, if you have anything to say.
Mayor, you know, as I was sitting here, Mr. Martinez speaking, it's pretty obvious freedom of speech is for everybody. I mean, he doesn't want us to speak, only he can speak, only the radio station can speak. We're here, we want to speak. We're not saying anything, we're not throwing rocks, we're not doing anything. We just want to be able to speak and speak our mind as to what has happened. Okay? And he was very upset that we were trying to speak. We're wasting our time. Everybody that's here, I mean, I'm here because I want to be here. I assume everybody here is for the same reason, right? Sure, we could be watching a novela. I think maybe it's more important that we're here, right? But I did get the impression that they left. They keep saying on the radio that we are faking it and don't want to listen to them, right? Of course, when they're on the radio, sometimes we're working. I mean, this is working hours, right? We can't sit there for 3 hours and say, I'm going to give up my job just to listen to the station, right? They could have had the courtesy to go ahead and sat here and listened to what we were going to say, right? You know, what they're saying is going on through the United States. Here right now in the state of Arizona, there is a lawsuit going, and you can read it in the Arizona Daily Star, right? It says here, veteran veteran social media suit seeks to define libel. I mean, this is going on all over the United States. You constantly see this about well-known movie stars or whatever. I mean, they want to find out what's going on. I mean, sometimes it gets out of control. I think to a certain extent, it's got out of control here. Mr. Martinez also said it's not a matter of money. Not a matter of money. It's funny how one time when I did call in the station because they were making wrong comments, and Mr. Martinez was there, and of course he knew a lot, you know. And of course we had a little discussion. And of course, then he posts in here, makes a little comment about him and I having a little tit-tat or whatever. But then he puts in there, money is the root of all politics. That's what we're discussing here. It's politics. It seems that they don't want to understand that, or they don't want to admit to the fact that basically they're looking for money. And you can look, you know, the mayor, I don't know if the mayor wants to go ahead and publicize some of it or wait until it comes out in the paper or whatever. But I mean, there are times here that the city of Nogales in the past administration was paying Radio Maxima. It started off at $150 an hour, quickly went to $300 an hour, and then it went to $600 an hour. Now I understand, I run several businesses. I understand all this, right? It just seems a little excessive here when you're saying, I want you to come to my radio station, explain your policies of the city, let the people know, but we're going to charge you $600. Now, do the people need that? I mean, here we had some deals here where they were paid $5,000 to advertise the 4th of July. 4th of July needs a lot of $5,000 worth of advertising? I don't know. But that was in past administrations. We just decided when the economy turned down, we couldn't afford that. There was a lot of other things that were cut out. We cut out a fund that for $100,000 that was giving out money to nonprofits. We had to cut it out. It was not right. So we had to eliminate that fund. If the city was making a lot of money, the economy was running very good, it might be a different situation. And that was explained. We just don't have the money. It just doesn't seem that the explanation hit anywhere, right? So basically, again, you know, everybody has freedom of speech. I think we should have it too. And that's all I'm saying is that, you know, why can't we have a discussion as to what we feel went on? They walked out. They walked out, right? So tomorrow, I guess they're going to say, we didn't sit there and listen to what they said because we wanted to hide from what they were going to say. We didn't want to hear anything they wanted to say. And I guess that's what happened, right? But a lot of information has been given to us. A lot of information was available to us. There were a lot of questions about this whole deal 4 years ago, and I think they should all be brought back. I think that a third party should take a look at this and give us an explanation as to exactly, is this within reason? Are there other businesses that are having the same problem with this station, that they feel that they are being coerced or that has got to be questioned, right? I certainly feel that we are. I mean, here we are. They're on the deal, constantly banning everybody in the city, and they say there's no parks. They say there's nothing to do. They say that you know, why can't these people do something with the economy? They always one other deal is, why do we go to Radio Geni from across the line? Well, as an idea, 70% of our tax base comes from Mexico, all right? Radio Geni goes all the way to Magdalena and Santana. Also on the American side, it goes way past, 40 miles past north of Tucson, if not more. Radio Maxima, you can barely hear it outside Nogales, Sonora, and it only gets to Rio Rico. So I mean, we're trying to reach an audience. The mayor goes there to Radio Geni. He's giving information about the city. Mr. Mayor, are you charged when you go to Radio Geni? Never, because it's public information, right? If we present ourselves in Radio Maxima, we don't know, it's $600 is the last billing, which was a while back, but $600 an hour. Mr. Machado, do you get paid $600 an hour?
I need a raise.
Maybe you were in the wrong business. You have a great voice. Maybe you can, redo yourself, right? So, I definitely think, and again, there is a lawsuit going through the Arizona Supreme Court. And hopefully, it will clarify a lot of things like this. But if you people really want to see what it is, all the paperwork's available. If you come tomorrow to the city, they will give you all the paperwork. You can see all these things here, where even here sometimes they would charge $75. So we don't know what the deal is, but you can see it for the library. We would budget $4,500 for the library for a summer program, and $1,500 was given to Radio Maxima. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it was correct or not. But if there was money available at that time, which I don't think there was, the money was not available now. We couldn't afford that kind of money. In fact, the program was basically reduced because there was no money, right? And as far as us trying to get businesses coming down, it's not an overnight affair. This is all over the United States. But I can tell you this, the city of Nogales has a AA+ rating on the bonds. You tell me what other city our size in Arizona has got that. Look at the larger cities, see who's got that, right? So something is being done correctly. And you can see there's a lot going on. There's more, there's over $40 million worth of permits issued last year. There's the new retailing coming in. So all this is good, and like the gentleman there said, I mean, we should all be working to make Nogales better instead of trying to tear it down, right? I mean, it's constantly, I made the comment one time, is this it for Nogales? I mean, is this what we're going to be listening to? That we constantly hear a barrage telling us that Nogales is no good? I mean, it's enough to hear it on the internet. It's enough to hear it on the television, where they're talking about the illegals coming over and the drugs and the this. And now locally, we're being lambasted also without any legit backing. I don't think it's right. So all it is I'm expressing my constitutional rights to speak. Where's the problem? I guess there was a problem because they left. And I would have loved for Mr. Martinez and Mr. Felix to be in here, but I guess it wasn't to be, right? I just hope they do read about the lawsuit going through the Supreme Court of Arizona. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilman.
I have a few comments to make here too. Mr. Genesian is the numbers guy, so he told you all about the finance and the mechanism of all the wonderful numbers he talked about and stuff like that. I'm going to talk about all the negativity they say on the radio, like Mr. Genesian says. Not once have they said a good comment about Nogales, its employees, and people that are out there working. As the Chief Robles from the fire department, he gave out 4 certificates right now. We have a VFW National EMT of the Year here in Nogales. VFW is a 2 million member organization nationwide. So there is good people here in Nogales. Not once do they talk about them. The international newspaper, yes, they always print stories, good or bad. I guess Maxima doesn't know how to read, or they don't buy the international. I don't know. Maybe we should, spare some change and buy them a newspaper so they could see all the good things that happen here in Nogales. Olivia from the Chamber of Commerce just spoke about all these people coming to Nogales, all these events that are planned, all these stores that are opening up, that are going to provide jobs to our citizens. I mean, those are all good things. And not once do they mention one good thing. It's all negative, negative, negative. And these people, with all their negativity, they're driving people away. They're driving businesses away. They're driving people not to come to Nogales and spend their money here. They are the problem, not your government. Your government is working for you. This government is working. This government is doing a lot. We've done a lot, as the mayor was saying, the paving, the infrastructure. We do have parks. We have the the Western Regional Little League Championships here in Nogales for the next 3 years. We have all the trade coming in from Mexico going north. Of course, we're making progress here, but not once do they mention it. I know the international does. I mean, what's wrong with these people? Maybe, you know, the numbers will speak as why they don't say good things about Nogales. Everybody's here. Everybody here is working to make Nogales better. And we need the help of the people, of the citizens, all you people out here, because everything they say, it not only affects us, it affects everybody. Everybody's affected by all their negativity. Everybody here, for the reasons I said right now. And it's not fair. It's not fair. You know, we'll take the heat. That's why we're here. We're here on the dais, and we are here to take the heat. But it's not fair to all the citizens of Nogales to be taking part of that heat indirectly because of what they're saying about us. And I guarantee you, whoever wins the elections, it could be a complete total dais here, and whoever wins that election, they're gonna have the same problem. I guarantee it 100%. They will have the same problem as we're having right now, because of all the negativity. When we first came into office, Mayor Garino started with image building, because the image of Nogales was pretty bad back 4 years ago. And it started to improve the image of Nogales. Look where we're at now. And I'm sure all of you have seen the progress and have seen the improvement. I mean, Kurt, I'm sure you've seen progress, better things. You know, it's Mr. Coppola. You know, I'm sure you've seen the city moving forward, not backwards. So we've been doing all we can to better Nogales, to make a better quality of life, to bring people in here and make them have their living here. You know, I have my roots very deeply embedded here in Nogales. You know, my dad was a businessman since the 1950s here in Nogales. My wife worked for the Canchola family. I mean, we're here and we're here to stay. And we are here to make Nogales a better place in which to live.
Thank you, Councilman. Manny Huerta, do you want to say something?
Yes, please.
Yes, could you please state your name and your address? Thank you, Mr. Huerta.
Mr. Mayor and Council, good evening. Manny Huerta, 3277 North Carey, Villahermosa. You know, when I first came into the meeting, I came in because I wanted to find out what this is all about. I read the newspaper yesterday, going, what is this? So now we've been going all over the place and going and everything. You know, here we are 5-6 years later from when the expenses were actually approved by the vice mayor and council member Pancian. So now 5-6 years later, you guys are saying you didn't approve.
We did not approve those expenses.
You didn't approve?
We did not, sir.
So how did they get passed?
Because
Right, exactly, because now we're picking sides of, because the council has never worked as a unit. The council has never worked as a unit. You guys need to leave all your personalities outside. You are here to work for us, the public.
that's what we did.
Well, why did it continue?
What continued?
The expenses. They said you had in 2008, 2009, 2010.
Since the mayor, since Mr. Garino has been mayor, those expenses were eliminated.
Correct.
Yes.
They were completely eliminated. We did not have the money to go ahead and throw them out.
If I remember
also
correctly, Mr. Hernician, if I remember correctly how this works, the mayor's office has a budget. Is that correct?
No.
And it's to be used at your discretion? No?
$2,000 for advertising.
Okay.
That's todo.
And that's it?
That's it.
So the rest comes from general fund,
Yes, sir.
all the expenses?
Yes, sir.
So everything's got approved, how did it get approved then?
Well, the
Well,
city
we can
manager.
go into that. I
City
think
manager.
you're opening up a huge can of worms. So
Well,
let's
you know,
leave that
I don't
out.
think it's any worse than this.
No, it got a lot worse, and you know
But
it.
it doesn't come directly from any of our budget. You know the worst thing about it, Manny? After you see the list, you're gonna see.
I've seen it,
that
I checked the internet yesterday, I saw
Okay,
it. I
they
saw it.
charged me when I went to speak about the Green City, Healthy City Initiative without my knowledge. Without my knowledge. It was paid by the mayor and the city manager at the time. They paid.
I want you to understand, I'm not here speaking on their behalf, by the way. It's just.
Well, I'm just telling you how it
This
was.
is just,
That's how it was
my
paid.
observations here. This is, I'm just seeing that, government getting involved with private business, you have the option to use their services or not. Where I work, unfortunately, I have to use both. I use Mr. Coppola and I use a radio station. Why? Those are the only two outlets for media. They're expensive? Yeah, they're very expensive. Very expensive. So I have to pay. I have no choice. But I don't know what when you say negativity, media negative, who is they, Mr. Vanician says they say this, they say, who is they? Is it the radio station itself or is it the public calling in? You have to let us know. I don't listen to the radio. I'm at work like you guys. I don't listen to it.
Well, listen if you want to.
No, I can't. I'm at work.
Yeah.
I can't listen.
Exactly.
But I think we as a community need to get together and work towards bettering the betterment of Nogales. How do you guys work unified? You work unified.
Well, we just passed a $55 million budget.
Yeah.
For the unified.
And it was 7-0, Again, Mr. Mayor, I mean, again, if I was one asked, or said, you want everyone on there to be exactly like you, I said, that's the worst thing in the world.
No.
I said, I don't want everybody to be crazy. Nothing would get done. I mean, I have.
I'd be the first to say no.
What I can do, there's a lot of things I cannot do, and nor do I care to get involved in. So we need everybody. We need different opinions because there's different opinions. We're never always going to be together.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the majority of things we're together. I think we work very well at most of the time together. There's some times that I feel that some people, maybe different, which helps in a lot of deals, different upbringings, different cultural situations, also different education, right? You don't want everyone to have a PhD. What the heck is that going to get us?
Nothing will
right?
get done.
Nothing.
No
Exactly.
workers.
Nothing will get done, right? So that's I don't know any city where everybody holds hand during the meeting and says, everybody, whatever's on it, let's pass it. I've never seen that. Look at Tucson, look at Phoenix, right? I don't want to mention California, but I mean, look at the rest of the deal. I mean, it's out of control.
Well, you're going to have personality differences, but your main objective should be to better the community.
In Nogales, if you go back, I don't care
20 years?
how far you go back.
Yeah.
No, you can go back 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back as long as you want. I remember the times with Benny Techea and those people having huge arguments. I'm not talking about little arguments. They were suing each other. You remember that time when they went through they were suing each other constantly? I have yet to know when there wasn't a difference of opinion. And again, sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't.
Correct.
But I mean, we're not all gonna sit here and hold hands.
I understand
mean, if
that.
everybody's expecting everybody to be 100% every time, it's very tough.
Let him
I mean,
speak.
Huh?
Let him speak.
Well, he's letting him speak. Thank God for us.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man.
I'm just saying, that the part of the negativity media, I don't know what that's about. Like I said, I'm here. Your predecessor got a lot from Mr. Coppola, and it just happens. You're public figures. You have to put up with. Unfortunately, you have to put up with what comes along.
Not all the employees are public figures.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Like I said, I don't listen to I listen to the station. But I thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Mr. Bonilla?
My name is Saulo Bonilla. I live 1100 East Parkway Drive. Some of you know me. I do some for the 4th of July. You see me at the graduations for Nogales High School and the middle schools. I've been labeled by the Maxima as the part of the El Licuado, right? And I'm proud to be labeled that way. I remember when I was a freshman in 1984, a radio station by the colors of KYN. We would rally Labor Day weekend at the McDonald's for the Jerry's telethon. They wouldn't charge. We would be there for our media class 24 hours. We would film all the bands. Other groups wouldn't charge. We would edit, put our stuff on the TVs, on Channel 9, in Tucson. We would come together as a community. And then the Maxima came in. And everyone thought, well, it's a bilingual radio station. Well, that's nice. Last administration, we all know how that ended. However, we never heard anything negative about the previous administration, did we? Not one negative report, did we? Ever. Not one. I worked at those businesses myself. I did security work for them, so I knew what was going on. I could tell you firsthand. And I know people called in that radio station to complain when people's electric was turned off, their phones were being disconnected. And never did it go on the air. Never. Does that strike you odd? I saw those invoices. Folks, let me tell you something. Mr. Martinez stood up here and says that they're in the business of making money, but not at the expense of our money, of the citizens of Nogales. $27,000. $5,000 for the 4th of July? Really? It's a hard pill to swallow. If I would have known, see, Mucho Martinez, Mr. Luck, you know those guys from the radio station, we go back a lot of years, we're friends. And had I known that they were going to pull this stunt, because there was a stunt, it's a smoke screen that they do, that's all it is. I was kind of hoping that would stand in the gap today, but it didn't, they left. Because that's what they're used to doing. They talk trash, they shut off the microphones, and that's it. That's what Mr. Felix did today. He was standing right behind me, and I heard him say, oh, that's the pelon that does the sound for the mayor. And that's true. I take pride in what I do. But I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of that radio station. I am sick and tired of, you see, I really don't listen to that radio station, but you get tired of people coming at you and telling you, hey, your mayor did this, your mayor stole this money, your mayor keeps the money, how he pockets the money, and it gets tiring after a while. And he harps on to, he comes in today and saying that we're stepping on his First Amendment rights. And I'm very tired. Actually, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because they're part of this community. We've had different radio stations. We have KYN back in the 80s. Then that later became AZ.Regular for a while. We have a new radio station. It's showing promise. We have a Christian radio station now. However, their tactics as the Maxima, if you notice, they just hold you to this false hope. It's like when they have they hold a stake in front of you, but you know you're never going to get to it. That's how they hold all the citizens of Nogales. They tell they're going to fix things, but they never do because they don't have authority to fix anything. They wouldn't know how to fix anything. I don't think they know how to fix a flat tire, to be honest. Folks, when you see those receipts, and I hope you see those invoices, the only words that come into my mind is that we were pimped out. This city was pimped out for $27,000 and $210.36, I believe, to be exact. because I have no other words. Mr. Martinez says that we're too stupid to realize that that's their business, making money, but that's not the way you make money at a radio station. I've worked at radio stations, and you don't charge a community for a public service announcement. I am outraged, and I think you should be outraged also at these actions, and it just opens a wound. You know what happened 4 years ago with the previous administration. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for me to work for them. It's embarrassing for the city. Now it's more embarrassing that it has to come out. It has to come to this. It has to come out to the public, and show the public that this city was pimped out for $27,000. It's embarrassing, folks. But you know what? No more. I want to commend the mayor for actually, stopping this mayor. Because God knows how much money this radio station would have had right now. Enough was enough. I don't know about you guys, but $27,000. $27,000 right now could pay a lot of my bills. I don't know about you, but he's sitting pretty right now. He got up and he left. Why didn't he stay? Why didn't he stay? None of them stayed. That's a question all of you guys should ask yourself. Why didn't they stay? I can just imagine tomorrow's transmission, and if you guys can, call them up and ask. I'm blocked from the radio station. They won't put me on the air. But if you guys can get through, just call them up and ask them, why did you guys leave? Why didn't you stay? Ask them about those $27,000. Ask them why you charge for those public service announcements, because all of them are public service announcements. How would you like to be charged for information if you guys get help for your taxes? Do you think that's fair? I don't think it is. It's not. If you have a radio station, there are certain things that you are responsible for in this community. You got to help out your brothers. You got to help out your, you can't charge for everything. Like I was saying, when I started earlier talking to you guys, KYN did so much for this community, and I don't know if you guys remember that radio station, but they did a lot of community work. And we helped them out. I helped them out. I did a lot of stuff for that radio station. Unfortunately, they closed down. But it's unfortunate, it's embarrassing. And, telling the mayor, bring a check the next time you come to the radio station? Really? I'm just appalled, and I think you should too. And that's all I really want to say, because anything else I can't pronounce it. I can't say it here. All right. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Marbury, for your very time.
Thank you, Mr. Juanillas, for your opinion and for letting us know which radio station you favor. I think that I see a lot of faults with Maxima, but I also see a lot of positive things. They still reach out to a lot of the community, and for a lot of people, they let them know about their rights, they let them know how to vote, they inform them in a lot of positive ways. So there's a lot of good that comes out of Maxima. But above all, like they said, we're public officials, we all take the heat. We got nothing to hide, we got nothing to worry about. So it doesn't make any difference what they say about us. But one of the things is, we don't want to go back to King George days and try to put a lid on things. As far as the expenses go, I think if we're going to be showing the expenses of Maxima to the general public, I think we ought to do it for all the media. I think we ought to see what Nogales International gets on a yearly basis and compare the expenses on that, to be fair. But as far as just singling out someone, I don't think that's right. That's especially, again, it is the media, it is free speech, it is a way for people to address their opinions, and they do it. And again, not all the time it's fair, but at least we get a pulse of the general public. And I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else, members of the council, want to say anything?
I think just one more, you know, I don't want to say that Mr. Parada once time reported as saying just pay them. That's another deal. You know, after talking to them, that was his conclusion. When I was a junior in high school, I mean, Winston Churchill was kind of my hero. And again, and I've used this many times before, the greatest crime is the failure to tell the public the truth. And that goes for politicians, and it goes for radio stations, and it goes for television stations, and it goes for the newspapers. And as far as I'm concerned, on that subject itself, the Maxima has failed tremendously. Some people can't see that. That's why we're living here in the United States.
Go ahead.
So I just want to make one comment. Since the very beginning, I started taking them the flyers for all the events that we were doing with the Cultural Arts Committee several times. And the last time you told me that they were a business. So that means if they're a business, I was supposed to pay. And I took them the flyers so that the public knows about the events, the free events that we have. Never they mention any of the events. Because I had to pay, of course, we don't have the money to pay. I just wanted to make that comment.
I'd like to make one final comment.
Go ahead.
Talking about the truth, as Mr. Genesian mentions, that's a very important issue, that the truth be known. I think there's some issues that the Maxima touches that nobody else does. And sometimes it's to bring out the truth, when even ourselves here try to hide it. I know the International put an article out there about a law that's in the books to protect the public from officials like us. And it says the policy, no mayor or member of the city council or members of their immediate family, nor any business entity in which a mayor, member of the city council, or members of their immediate family have a financial interest shall directly or indirectly enter into an agreement, whether verbal or written, with the city or any city agency, or receive any commission, discount, bonus, gift, contribution, or reward from any share in the profits of any person or business entity making or performing such an agreement. Now, it's been known that for years, one of the councilmen, his family has been in that agreement with the city. The towing company of Diaz has been towing for years.
You're going on.
Okay, but it's here, it's okay, it's enough. All right, we'll not mention the name. But again, the Maxima has brought it out, and finally, after many years, this administration has taken some kind of action through legal course. Now, the problem is that if nobody ever mentioned it, there was nobody who would bring it out. Who would bring these things when we are covering and we're not bringing this issue out to light? These laws are here to protect the public, and we're here as elected officials to protect you, not to abuse that position that you guys have given it your sacred trust to help to hold. And not all of us in the council think alike, like Mr. Genesian said, and some of us will defend the truth and defend justice for the rest of the community. And I'm glad to see that at least the media, the newspaper, and Nogales International brought it out, and the Maxima followed up on it. But those are things that the media does. Bring out what is not right, what's been abuses towards the public from their public officials. And I thank the media for that. Thank you.
One quick question, we've done a lot of talk here, a lot of back and forth. Let's have a legal opinion, is it, about the First Amendment? Are we violating this in any way? We have legal here.
I'm not sure, that's a real broad question, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm sure Maxima has First Amendment rights just as does the council. There's so many allegations being tossed around here, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I can tell you that First Amendment does apply, the media certainly has First Amendment. You also have First Amendment, the council does. And that those First Amendment rights have limitations also. It's just not an absolute right that allows anybody to say anything anytime. But those all depend on specifics, on the specific things that are said and under what circumstances are said. So, I mean, I can't answer generally that question if First Amendment rights have been violated.
I'm gonna read,
Mr. Mayor?
Consumer Guide. Yes, go ahead.
Excuse me, may I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
State your name and your address for the record.
Thank you. My name is Robert Rojas, 279 West Allen Street. I'll be brief. First of all, I don't think that you get what's going on today. By putting this agenda item, you basically opened yourself up. And I have to state that it's a lose-lose situation here for you. I think that maybe Mr. Machado should have been consulted before that so that he would have a good answer, a wise answer. I think that right now he's on the spot. But there isn't a person here who doesn't know that I ran for mayor against you. And there was a lot of negative, down low stuff against me.
And me too.
And that's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of it. You know, and it didn't matter. Manny here called me a deadbeat dad, which of course I didn't like. I've been working for 35 years. Worked at Home Depot last year. Worked at ICT, Sykes, during the summer to meet my responsibilities. It wasn't fair, I will tell you that, but it's part of the game. I was elected two terms as a council member, once as a county supervisor, and the kitchen is hot. And if it gets too hot, there's a door right there, and there's a door back there. You can get out. But these media outlets are doing their job. And by you tonight voting against them speaking up, you're not going to like the results. But Manny, he might, and he has. He said good things about me and some negative stuff. But I've never gone to him and said, you can't do that. I didn't say that to Tammy Bo or whatever the reporter was from Pega 9. She did what she did. She ambushed me out here. I will not name some city personnel that were out there laughing while she was grilling me. But you know what? That's part of the game. Man up. Woman up. Good job.
Well, I'm gonna read something to you from the FCC. What responsibilities do broadcasters have? As public trustees, broadcasters may not intentionally distort the news. Broadcasters are responsible for deciding what stations present to the public, and the FCC has stated publicly that rigging or slanting the news is a most heinous act against public interest. The FCC may act to protect the public interest when it has received document evidence of such rigging or slanting. This kind of evidence could include testimony in writing or otherwise from insiders or persons who have direct knowledge, personal knowledge of an intentional falsification of news. Of particular concern would be evidence about orders from station management to falsify the news. In the past 2 weeks, I had one person that used to call the radio station all the time in my office that wanted to talk to me. And he's no longer wanted in that radio station because one day he mentioned that we were doing a great job paving. So he's not allowed to call the radio station. I've had 2 employees that were inside speaking on the microphones. One told me about 3 weeks ago, tiene que ver con la lana. Lana means it has to do with the money. And the other one basically said, if I don't say what I say, I'm gonna get terminated. They both don't work for the Maxima no more. So, I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna make a motion. I move to send all the information in reference to Maxima 99.1 to newspapers for publication so the general public can form their own opinions, and for all information to be sent to the Attorney General and the Federal Communications Commission for criminal investigation.
Second, Mayor.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
The ayes have it. Thank you very much. I'm going to take a little recess break. Okay? 5 minutes.